If you've ever felt more comfortable around animals than people, if you find peace in their presence but feel drained or misunderstood around humans, there's a good chance you've wondered what that says about you. Maybe you've even been told that it's strange, that you should socialize more or connect better with people. But what if this isn't a weakness at all? What if preferring animals over people actually reveals something deeply meaningful and even powerful about your psychology? Because the truth is, this tendency is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean you're antisocial or disconnected. In many cases, it means you feel deeply, think deeply, and connect in a way that most people don't. So if this resonates with you, here's what your mind might be revealing. First, you're highly sensitive to emotional energy. Psychology shows that some people are more aware of emotional signals, tone of voice, body language, hidden tension. This is often linked to higher emotional sensitivity. With people, this can be exhausting. Conversations aren't just words for you. You notice what's unsaid. You pick up on discomfort, fake smiles, subtle shifts. And over time, this constant awareness can feel overwhelming. Animals, on the other hand, are simple in the best way. They don't hide their emotions. They don't pretend. What you see is what you get. That's why being around them feels calming instead of draining. It's not that you don't like people, it's that your mind processes them more deeply than most, and sometimes you just need a break from that. Second, you value authenticity more than social expectations. Research indicates that people who prefer animals often have a stronger need for genuine, honest connection. Human interactions can sometimes feel performative. Small talk, social roles, unspoken rules about how to behave. You might find yourself thinking, why can't people just be real? Animals don't follow social masks. They don't judge your status, your appearance, or your words. They respond to your energy, your presence. And that kind of connection feels more meaningful to you. This doesn't mean you can't connect with people. It just means you crave depth over surface, and that's something many people never even realize about themselves. Third, you may have experienced emotional disappointment from people. Let's be honest, most people have been let down at some point. But for you, those experiences may have left a deeper imprint. Psychology suggests that when trust is broken repeatedly, the brain naturally seeks safer forms of connection. Animals feel safe. They don't betray you, manipulate you, or suddenly change their behavior without reason. If you've ever been hurt, misunderstood, or ignored by people, it makes sense that you'd feel more at ease with something that offers consistency. But here's the important part. This isn't avoidance, it's adaptation. Your mind is protecting your emotional well-being in the best way it knows. And recognizing that is not weakness, it's self-awareness. Fourth, you have a strong capacity for empathy. Studies have found that people who feel connected to animals often score higher in empathy. You don't just see animals as pets, you see them as living beings with emotions, needs, and personalities. You notice when they're anxious, excited, or sad. You respond to them with care and understanding. This ability to empathize doesn't stop with animals. It extends to people too. But sometimes it's easier to express that empathy where it's clearly received. With humans, empathy can feel complicated. It's not always returned. It's not always appreciated. With animals, it flows naturally. So if you feel deeply connected to them, it's often because you have a rare ability, the ability to truly feel for others. And that's something the world needs more of. Fifth, you value peace over chaos. Let's face it, human relationships can be complicated. Miscommunication, expectations, conflict. It can feel like a lot. Research suggests that people who seek calm, stable environments often gravitate towards interactions that feel predictable and safe. Animals provide that sense of peace. Spending time with them doesn't require overthinking. There's no pressure to say the right thing or act a certain way. You can just be. And in a world that constantly demands attention, performance, and interaction, that kind of peace is incredibly valuable. So if you find yourself choosing quiet moments with animals over busy social settings, it doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you know what your mind needs to stay balanced. And finally, you likely have a more introspective personality. People who prefer animals often spend more time reflecting, observing, and thinking. You might enjoy solitude. You might feel comfortable being alone with your thoughts. And animals fit naturally into that space. They don't interrupt your inner world. They coexist with it. Psychology shows that introspective individuals tend to form fewer but deeper connections. So it's not about quantity for you, it's about quality. You're not trying to connect with everyone. You're waiting for the kind of connection that actually matters. And until then, animals provide a sense of companionship that feels real, steady, and enough. So if you've ever felt like something was off about you for preferring animals over people, maybe it's time to see it differently. Maybe it means you're emotionally aware. Maybe it means you value honesty. Maybe it means you've learned to protect your peace. And maybe it means you connect in a deeper, more meaningful way than most. You're not disconnected from people. You're just selective about where you place your energy. And that's not something to fix. That's something to understand. If this made you reflect on yourself in a new way, there's a lot more to discover about how your mind works and why you feel the way you do. Subscribe for more psychology insights that help you understand yourself better.